Hello, and welcome to Framingham Now. I'm Jack Patrick Lewis, State Representative for the majority of South Framingham, some of North Framingham, and the entire town of Ashland. On this program, we talk with elected officials, community leaders, and area activists about the current political landscape in Framingham and the future of the town that so many of us call home. As you likely know, this fall, Framingham will be voting on a new local city council, its first city council, and its first mayor. As part of this process, I have been interviewing all of the mayoral candidates in addition to the at-large candidates. And today I'm happy to introduce to you, for those of you who haven't yet met Dhruba Sen, the seventh candidate that will be on the ballots this fall. Dhruba, thank you so much for joining us on the show. We're so happy to have you. And I'm happy just to take this time to introduce you to probably just the handful of people out there who haven't yet seen you at the concerts on the green or out there in the community. You have experience, as so many of us know, in a wide variety of fields, from local government, software engineering, civil rights activism, and so much more. And so why don't we kick off the show with the question of what unique skills and qualities have you acquired through all of that experience that make you the perfect candidate to be our first mayor?
Okay, Jack, thank you very much for this invitation. I'm very glad and very happy to be a part of this interview session. So in terms of a unique skill and qualities, the first thing I would say is that I have a vision. And that vision is smart city. If anyone looks up what is a smart city, it starts with smart city is a vision. So I have that vision. Secondly, the skills and the qualities that I have, I know how to conduct vision workshops for the city leaders. I have done that. Create smart goals. By smart, I mean specific, measurable, and although that's just an acronym. And I have the huge leadership capabilities in the sense that bringing technology, people, business, and government. I have done that. And that is also in management parlance that is known as the stakeholder management. And I manage huge budgets. My span of control, international, has been in hundreds. And I, of course, during my interview with the Metro West Daily, I had talked about innovation at work. And I had actually managed R&D program, research and development programs. So I'm very well familiar with what is actually innovation and how I can take Framingham to the next level. We really need to go into the 21st century. And I have a feeling that we may be stuck in the 20th century. And then I have one unique skill, which is the Agile, Lean, and Six Sigma model, which, time to market, be lean, and be proactive, do things fast enough. There's a phrase called faster, better, and cheaper, and that is what this Agile, Six Sigma, and Lean models are concerned about. So I would say that these are some of my unique skills and qualities. And in terms of other things that I have is the mentoring and coaching skills, which I developed over the years, trying to manage other software engineers. If you know that software engineers have quite a big hassle, ego hassle. So it's challenging to manage software engineers, so one has to go into a servant leadership and mentoring and coaching role rather than a command and control. So very briefly, these are the qualities and skills that I've acquired over the decades of my professional experiences and other government experiences as well.
Thank you so much, Dhruba, for that. And let's fast forward to, so it's post-primary on September, 26th, post-general election on November 7th. You've won. Curious about your first points of action. Day one, you as Framingham's first mayor, what would that first day look like?
Okay, the first day, what I'll be doing is, of course, I'll be thanking everyone who voted for me.
Day two. Or sorry, day one in the afternoon then.
Yes,
okay.
Yeah, okay. And So one thing that I'm committed to is open governance. So I will initiate creation of a soft infrastructure, which is basically where the citizens, residents will be able to plug in their wish list, their issues that they have, priorities, and since this is going to be open, everyone can see what other people are saying. Right now, there will be 100 people saying 100 different things. This has to be done first. Well, everything cannot be done first. So that process is called multi-criteria decision modeling. So that is what I'll be using. Everybody will have a visibility to see what is the community wanting, what is their wish list, and what is the actual decision making when we are coming up with, we'll do this first, we'll allocate this budget to this. It's then totally open to all the residents. So that's the first software, the soft infrastructure.
Okay.
The second one would be, since going from a town to a city, and my basic platform is smart city, I'm going to initiate a big training program, retraining. Some of the town employees are already maybe familiar with what is a smart city, but I would equip them with whatever is necessary for them to be successful in a smart city. And the third thing is to create a residence information system where people will be educated as to what is a smart city. Because people may be having that question, okay, what does it entail? What are the pros and cons of that? So these are the things that I will kick off on day one.
Excellent. One of the questions I like to ask of everyone who comes on my show that's running to be our first mayor on our first city council, I asked it of candidates when they were running for Board of Selectmen in the previous government system, is around how we can best support our local immigrant community. As many cities and towns across Massachusetts are considering becoming sanctuary cities, sanctuary towns. Curious, your thought on what we could be doing more of or the better job of on that front.
Okay, so the first thing is I want to make clear about the definition of a sanctuary city. There's a misconception that a sanctuary city is a city which harbors criminals, fugitives from law. Nothing can be further from the truth. That is not what a sanctuary city is. Sanctuary city is the local law enforcement focuses on local issues. Framingham, it had an agreement 287G during the previous chief, and before the previous chief of police left, he got rid of that. Right now, there's no 287G, which is basically using the local police as ICE agents. So given that definition of a sanctuary city, that local law enforcement for local issues, and since we had 287G, we got rid of it. Why we got rid of that? Because it wasn't helping anyone. It wasn't helping the law enforcement. It wasn't helping the immigrants. It wasn't helping the non-immigrants. Lessons learned. Given that definition of a sanctuary city, I will definitely support a sanctuary city. And before I close on this, I would like to mention that a federal judge in California had ruled that it is unconstitutional to withhold funding to sanctuary cities. Because there are some threats going on.
People are, yes.
That we may lose federal funding. So that federal judge has ruled unconstitutional, and that ruling applies nationwide.
It's a good reminder for everyone as we have this conversation. So we have about 2-3 minutes left for the show. This time always goes by so fast, and I know you and I have had many conversations, and
Sure.
and this is just one, and we'll have many in the future. What I Well, if we would have had another hour, the questions I'd still love to ask are top priorities for Framingham's future, and what is it about Framingham that makes it the sort of town that you're happy to advocate for? And so I'm happy to leave it to you in the last 2 minutes. Priorities and what is it about Framingham? As you introduce yourself to a handful of people still
Sure.
out there that haven't seen you around town.
So Framingham, it used to be the hub of the Silicon Valley of the East. It lost that status. We have great people. We have, great things all around. And I think it is uniquely placed to regain that status of being the hub of the Silicon Valley of the East. In terms of priorities, yes, I have, I'll mention a couple of things because of the time. One is we have to, retention of the core community values as we move from a town to a city. We have to maintain the community values. The second is what I call the branding of the city. There has to be a city branding. I mean, what is it known right now? We have to move away to a 21st century. So one of the branding is Smart City Framingham. That is actually my branding of Framingham. And then, of course, another priority thing would be, I will be signing on with other mayors in support of the Paris Agreement on climate change. I will definitely be one of the mayors who will sign on to that. And then, I have several other things like smart economic growth, which will include downtown, blighted areas. There are lots of questions there about what we should be doing. Smart financial planning, which would include Leontief input-output model. And so there are lots of things which we can do. And
I know that you are everywhere around town. The people that want to talk to you are going to be able to find you out there. Concerts on the Green are just one of those places. And so I am so appreciative of everything you've done for Framingham, coming on the show, introducing yourself to folks watching at home. And folks watching at home, there are 7 candidates that are on the ballot. They're going to be spending the next 2 months knocking on doors. They're going to be spending the time at every event around town you can imagine. And I really do urge you. They're here. They're putting themselves out there. They want to answer questions. They want to be asked their vision for the future of Framingham. They want to be asked about their experience. Ask them everything you ever wondered about the town we live in, because as you can imagine, the first mayor and the city council that works with them are going to set the pace for the future of this town. I'm just one vote come September and then one vote come November. I've intentionally said I'm going to sit out of this election, which allows me an opportunity to have these conversations. Whichever one of you is elected come November, I look forward to working closely. I'm sure Chris Walsh and Carmen Gentile and the entire Metro West delegation are looking for a great mayor who's going to work together with us to chart the future of this area. And I really do urge everyone watching at home, reach out to these candidates, watch the interviews with the other 6 candidates, make an informed decision, and mark your calendars. September 26th, there will be a primary where we will narrow down the field of 7 to a field of 2. For the city council races and school committee races where there are more than 2 candidates running. For some of us, it's going to be a long ballot come September 26th. We're going to narrow it down to 2 candidates for mayor and other things, moving on to the November 7th ballot, where we have an important decision to make on every front. Dhruba, thank you so much for coming on to the show.
My
I'll
pleasure.
see you around town soon. For those watching at home, until next time, thank you.